I am Karthik Sharma from ETGoverment, the Economic Times, and today we are talking to Ma'am Veenu Gupta, a senior IAS and Additional Chief Secretary for Industries and MSME in Government of Rajasthan. Today we'll be talking to her about Invest Rajasthan and various aspects of industrial development in the state of Rajasthan. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
Ma'am, first of all, today we all are gathered here for an MOU signing ceremony related to Invest Rajasthan. Please tell us about this program of today.
So there is a little background to it because in October 22 we are organizing a national level investment summit on 7th and 8th of October, and as a run up to that main event, today's event was held, and this event was held largely to sign some more MOUs. So today MOUs involving investment of nearly 70,000 crores have been signed, and we also wanted to interact with the investors and tell them about the strengths of Rajasthan. So that was the whole event for today.
In all your preparations for Invest Rajasthan from last 1 year, we are noticing that you are reaching to the last mile, to the district level, and at a very smaller levels, district like Bhilwara, Chittorgarh, and they have been businessmen interacting with you. So what has been the policy behind this to reach to the at such finest level?
See, it's very important to listen to and meet and interact with all kinds of investors. So when we say that we are trying to attract investment, it is not just the large scale that we are looking at. We are also looking at MSME units, small investors, and also our existing investors, because they are our biggest ambassadors. So when we go to the district level, we also interact with the existing investors if they are facing any problem. So basically it is trying to create a conducive environment both for the existing investors and for the prospective investors.
How has been the response of RIPS, this policy? How industry leaders have reacted to it? Do you got some feedback? So what do you think?
See, the Rajasthan Investment Promotion scheme is a very attractive scheme. It offers various kinds of incentives, and then there are some thrust sectors also which get some special incentives. And for the larger investments, for example, if a person is wanting to invest 100 crores and giving direct employment to more than 200 people, then you get a customized package, which means that you spell out your wish list, that these are the kind of concessions or incentives that I am looking for. And then of course there is a system, a very transparent system, whereby the proposal is discussed and then the customized packages granted. So the response to the scheme has been phenomenal. Why phenomenal? Because every month I am organizing meetings, because I get so many proposals then that we have to to clear those proposals, almost we have to meet on a monthly basis. So the response is very, very encouraging.
So about MSMEs, today Honorable CM was also telling about Rajasthan's seriousness towards promoting MSMEs in the state. So what has been your plans and policies for MSMEs in Rajasthan?
See, the reason why Rajasthan government promotes MSMEs is that they are the biggest generators of employment. 99% of India's total industry is MSME, and as I said, they generate maximum employment and they use local resources. Most of them use local resources, whether it is mineral resources, whether it is agro resources. So they are the quickest to establish. So if you really want to make a dent to the state's economy, MSMEs have to be promoted. And what the present government is doing, that in the last 2 years of COVID, the MSMEs have really suffered a lot. So several steps have been taken to support MSMEs. A very innovative scheme called Mukhyamantri Laghu Protsahan Yojana that has been introduced. It provides interest subvention. So the cost of finance is an important factor for MSMEs, and with this scheme, the cost of finance, which otherwise is 9 or 10%, it comes down to just 1 or 2% for the MSMEs. So it is a very big relief for them. Apart from that, the MSMEs face a lot of problems in payments. So their payments get stuck both in government supplies as well as private supplies, and that disturbs their rotation of working capital. So Rajasthan is the only state which has set up 10 facilitation councils for resolving these payment related disputes, and those meetings are happening regularly. So about 3,000 cases have been cleared, and it has come as a big relief to the MSMEs because then their payments get released. The third thing which the government is doing is to set up smaller industrial parks. Generally, most governments set up large industrial parks. We also have done it in the past because it optimizes resources. But then in that process, sometimes the MSMEs, they get left out, or they are not able to reach there. So now the state government has decided that we'll go right up to the subdivision level and set up smaller industrial areas, 10 hectares, 20 hectares. And since they'll be small areas, so it's largely the MSMEs who are going to benefit. So they will have clear, industrial land with a clear title, almost next door.
Right. So most of your MOUs are around renewable energy, and also oil and gas is also very prominent in the petrochemical region is also happening in Rajasthan. So a lot of emphasis goes on Western Rajasthan also, which was quite untouched after all these years. So what do you think? How do you strategize now when you have all these two kind of resources with you, and energy, renewable energy, oil and gas, and in an area which was untouched? So what's your plan and policy?
See, you have very rightly pointed out that so far most of our industrialization took place in 2-3 hubs. One was, of course, the NCR, Bhiwadi, Neemrana, Gilot. These were always our crowning glory, as I call them. And then we had a textile hub in Bhilwara. So all the textile processing units have come up there. Then Jodhpur again has emerged as a major industrial hub. So a lot of handicraft manufacturing is taking place there. Also textiles, Pali again for textiles. But most of the industrialization stopped around Jodhpur only, not beyond that. So the extreme western part, which is Badmer and Jaisalmer, etc., was known for the vibrance in the tourism sector, but industrialization was not really there. Yes, some amount of handicraft was there, but manufacturing industry was hardly existent. But with the refinery coming up in Badmer, we are setting up a very big petro zone there, and we are expecting that there will be lot of feedstock available from the refinery, and therefore chemical based industries, they will come up in the petro zone. So and then on the DMIC route, the second node is in the Marwar region, Pali, Jodhpur, Marwar region. That will be the second node. Again, we'll be setting up the Marwar industrial cluster there. So with the development of these two areas, the western Rajasthan will see unprecedented industrial development. Which was largely concentrated in the NCR region. Maybe 10 years from now, this area will match, if not surpass, the NCR region.
Right. Lastly, I'll ask you, there are investment summit happens across the country, across the world. Yes, it happens. Some are successful, some are not. So in this case, what is your plan to make it, the most successful investment summit on ground?
See, 2-3 things we have done, because it's always a learning, when you start doing these summits or when you start attracting investment, every time there is some new learning. So this time 2-3 things have been done. One is a lot of due diligence has been done for MOUs and LOIs. I mean, we didn't kind of enter blindly into any MOU signing. A lot of due diligence was done before that, just to see whether the investor is serious and they actually have some project in mind, they have the financial capability in mind, because sometimes just to inflate the numbers we enter into MOUs. So this has not happened in this case, and that is one thing. The second thing, which is very important, is also having done the MOUs and LOIs, how do you monitor them, how do you follow them up, and how do you facilitate them? So there is a lot of emphasis on that also. At my level, I am monitoring almost every month, and all our ground level officers are also involved in the process. The collectors are involved, the chief secretary is monitoring, the minister is monitoring. So as a result of that, already 12% of MOUs which were signed just 6-7 months back, 12% already stand implemented, and another 28% are at various stages of implementation. So when you add this 28 and 12, 40% of the MOUs are already on ground. So which is a very, very high percentage. 100% never happens. No state can achieve that, but most states reach just 25%, not beyond that. We have already reached 40%, and we are hopeful that this percentage will go up.
This is something really great to know, understand from you, and thank you so much for joining us for this interaction, ma'am, and we wish you all the best for the success of Invest Rajasthan.
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much.